I want to use this opportunity to say that time is of the essence, to use our voices to end the injustices the Black community face. And as Nelson Mandela said, fools multiply when the wise remain silent. So I exhort us all today to be true allies and advocates who will take unprecedented actions to create change. The Black community needs your help and your support, and it takes a collective effort to instigate that change. In our community, we are planning a special event to address the issue of race next month, and I'll share more details on that before the end of this meeting. Yvonne Kasine from London, Ontario. She found a second home in Canada when she moved here for her studies. Her professional and personal experiences have been rich of learning lessons, and those lessons are resumed in her book called Investing in Your Success. It is a powerful source of guidance for new immigrants and anyone really. I exhort all of you to grab a copy. Today she's here to share her story on bravery. Thank you, Yvonne, for being in our
person. If I can inspire one person, then my mission is accomplished. Today is about growth being a test of character. Like the sentence that we have as a theme today, growth, a test of character. We are always tested every day. Stepping out of your comfort zone, right? Being a member, a daughter in this platform is a test, because you're like, I feel like I need connection. I feel like I need a community where I belong. So we are tested. We are being tested every single day. Courage comes from vulnerability. Vulnerability and trust are important elements in any relationship. And when I'm talking about relationship, it's not just about romantic relationship. It's in any relationship. Even Francine taking the risk and asking me to do this presentation, she had some trust in me. And me taking up this opportunity, I had to overcome I had to be vulnerable, because I will be here sharing what I think would make us more brave, would make us courageous. But who am I to share that? So there is a lot of vulnerability. I don't know how you will take this, but still, because I'm courageous, I'm going with the fear, but I'm working towards overcoming it. And here I am, I'm in front of you. Of course, the nervousness is still there, but I'm here I am. So there is a professor named Dr. Brené Brown. She's done a lot of research in this area. She's a public speaker. So I would encourage you to go and look at her work. She has TED Talks. She had a Netflix show, and it's available on Netflix. If you want to understand vulnerability and how important it is to you or to me, if you want to become courageous, please go and search her on Google or on Netflix and TED Talks. Being brave can be reflected in our everyday lives. Like you and I, stepping out of our bed today, despite all is going on, the craziness here, like we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe some of us lost their jobs, or they are in fear of losing their jobs. I don't know what's happening in your life. You know better than me, but I know what's happening in my life. There are a lot of uncertainties. But facing that fear and saying, no, I have to go out there. I have to see what else is there beyond the COVID-19 is being brave. Raising my children, being a single mother, is being brave, and choosing not just to be crying because I know, let's say just an example, recently, I was applying for mortgage, but they said, who else is signing a mortgage with you? And I'm like, no one, it's just me. And they're like, oh, it's gonna be difficult. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's gonna be difficult, but I will do it. About losing. There is the fear of losing. It is more about showing up when you don't have complete control of the outcome. That my story will help you reflect on your own story in terms of courage, bravery in your everyday life. Happened before I moved to Canada as a student, continued afterwards for many years. So it took me long, like 6 years, more than 6 years actually, to say no. I have to be brave enough and accept that this is not the kind of life I want to live the rest of my life. But then the fear of how my family will react, my dad and mom, my siblings, the friends, because of Christianity, because of religious beliefs, which I still shared at that time. It's not like I wasn't Christian anymore. I was Christian, and even questioning that the Bible myself, saying, but God, you said that you're gonna unite people because you see they fit, and marriage is for till death do us apart. But what's going on now in my life? So I started to question a lot of things, but I was still a Christian, so I had to really be courageous. I had to be brave to move on of depression. I was brave enough, and I said enough is enough, and I quit. I quit with my kids. I didn't know where to go, but I was in Canada. Fortunately, I'm very grateful for Canada and how women and children, like their rights are really protected. So I got help from strangers, social workers. They helped me, and I found a home for me and my kids. So, but that realization, to reach to that point, I needed first to belong to myself. I needed to realize that I wasn't happy anymore in that marriage. And I needed to face that thing, that it's not working and it's time for me to move on. So when I realized that I needed to belong to myself, then peace started coming in. I started to let go of the need to control my ex's reactions to me. We were still together, but I said, I'm not going to change him. Maybe what I want is not what he needs or what he wants. And it just time that I realized things are not going well. So I decided and accepted to take my life, my joy and my happiness in my own hands. And I took the risk. I accepted to be vulnerable and go out there in a very judging world, because I knew, that was my belief, that people will judge me, that you're not strong enough because of the culture I come from, that marriage is a struggle, but a good woman will stay in regardless. So I said, no. I have to first belong to myself and then go out there. I'm not perfect, but what I want is peace, joy, and happiness. So it's been now 3 years. I woke right after I had separated. And most of all, I feel like I'm worthy. I feel like I don't have to do many things. Like I don't really have to go after someone to love me. Now I understand that I'm enough because I'm choosing to be vulnerable. And if I have to go in any relationship, I'm not looking for acceptance, really. I'm looking for understanding, for connection.
A challenge to your bravery and to who you are and who you want to be. That's very, very true. And Yvonne, thank you for sharing the story. It's inspiring, and indeed, we all go through some little challenges in life.
Like we need to cultivate the leadership skills that usually women are leaders, whether you want it or not. We are leaders because we fight through a lot of things, regardless of race or country, whatever. Women generally, we have those leadership skills in us. So part of those skills that we need to cultivate and grow are include negotiation. So we need to be negotiating and compromising. Sometimes you're not going to get what you need in this moment, but the willingness to let go and accept that, okay, I wanted this to happen this way, but it's not happening. But knowing that maybe this is an opportunity to bargain and negotiate for something good in the future. So we need to also use those skills. It's good to be vulnerable, but like you said, Vanessa, choosing the right moment and the right person and the right words about how we are going to go out. And
one thing that I learned through my career is when I really started having success in my career was realizing that at the end of the day, you need to have confidence. You have to have confidence to like take your place. And confidence changes everything. And I think that what a common characteristic you see among people who are, alphas is confidence. And it's a fine line between confidence and cockiness as well. Because you don't want to be cocky. That's definitely a turnoff, but confidence is key. And it kind of ties into what Yvonne was explaining too about bravery and vulnerability. When I learned about these concepts of just like of being vulnerable and that vulnerability was not a weakness, that was life-changing for me. It really, really was. And even though it was terrifying, I'm a person who is sort of a leader naturally. So I would consider myself, a lot of the time an alpha in most situations. But I used to be so scared of what people would think of me. And once I just realized that it just wasn't worth it, and that you have to be vulnerable. You have to take chances and be confident, even if sometimes you think you're just pretending, being confident. Everything just sort of fell into place and felt right after.
Being alpha, to me, there is this notion of leadership, like really cultivating the leadership side of ourselves, the influence side of ourselves. It doesn't mean that we have to be CEOs. It doesn't mean that we have to start our own businesses. We have to have higher degrees, but it means that at the level where we are, if you are a student, be a good student and be a leader in that role. If you are a CEO, then be a good CEO and influence people. Show those leadership skills so that you can guide people towards something better than what they have right now. So that's just one thing I wanted to add.
I just want to ask, because I can be confident sometimes, but I feel like in the workplace where you have a lot of me, the majority of my coworkers are women, and I feel when you have a woman around you, like there is a lot of power games.
To what you're saying, I think self-awareness is 100% like the first step. Like I'm a huge believer that everything comes from this foundation of one self-love, and then when you are working on that and this inner work comes this awareness. And I've been in it was a few years of quite negativity and toxicity in the workplace as a former event planner, only working with women. And what I had learned was the more I was grounded in myself, so the more, tools and resources I could go to, like, for instance, for me was meditation. And really when I can come back to like who I am, really, really helped me with these kind of power struggles in the workplace, because I had a lot of people kind of coming at me, management as well, and kind of pushing me down. And it took a lot. I mean, it definitely was a journey, as you said, but when I finally could be confident in myself, because I had the tools and resources, whether it was with therapy, with meditation, with self-care, with learning, with journal prompts, with whatever kind of my toolkit looked like, I was able to sort of, when somebody, let's say, quote unquote, was attacking me, I could really like internally have a dialogue and be like, I know who I am. I don't have to fight them, because I used to be so defensive and be like, that's not who I am, and trying to prove myself, right? So when I could sit in my truth, in my power, without even having to prove to them and say, no, you're wrong. I didn't. I just, I was able internally to not let them affect me and not be so defensive and on the, on the defensive, and say, no, this isn't who I am. And that took years. So I think it's just, definitely this self-awareness, this working on yourself and growing and loving yourself and knowing who you are, so that you're not so reactionary every single time somebody tries to come at you.
And that's what the beauty of business is, because you surround your network, you surround who your clients are, so you don't depend like in a corporate world, oh, my boss is a bitch, and what am I going to do? Am I going to lose the job? So you're in control of your life, and that's the beauty of being in Canada.
We need to cultivate the leadership skills that usually women are leaders. Whether you want it or not, we are leaders because we fight through a lot of things, regardless of race or country, whatever. Women generally, we have those leadership skills in us. So part of those skills that we need to cultivate and grow include negotiation. So we need to be negotiating and compromising. Sometimes you're not gonna get what you need in this moment, but the willingness to let go and accept that, okay, I wanted this to happen this way, but it's not happening. But knowing that maybe this is an opportunity to bargain and negotiate for something good in the future. So we need to also use those skills. It's good to be vulnerable, but like you said, Vanessa, choosing the right moment and the right person and the right words about how we are going to go out.
And sisters really helps. It's really setting a time, an appointment. We're all on our WhatsApp video basically, and we're all following the same training, and now we get things done. So this really helped me. So it all comes once again to our previous conversation. It's about the support system. My friends tried. Unfortunately, I was the problem, but now that I was stuck at home, I had no excuse with my sisters. So it's the support system, the ones that would motivate you. And for the snacks, I'm an avocado lover. So sweet or salty, all the time, all the different ways. I see you, Lisa, saying yeah. And it keeps you full for a long time. So avocado is the real deal to me.
Any activity, as long as you keep your blood flow going and moving, then I come back, then I prepare avocado, and it's great. It gives me so much energy, and I feel like a new person. That's just the beauty of sport. And I'll give it to avocado.
It's a way of being healthy. It's part of my wellness because I enjoy it. So I do it as a hobby. So when I'm reading, I feel like my blood is really circulating. I know it's not because I'm sitting, but that's the feeling that I have. So it relieves pressure on me. And of course I have to watch my weight because I don't want to be overweight, but I guess sometimes it's about what we can manage, really. It's about being honest about ourselves, self-awareness. What can you take on right now in this moment?
Really? I really like to walk and I like to listen to podcasts. So, I'll walk, which I like, but then the added sort of reward is that, I get to listen to a 30-minute or a 60-minute podcast as opposed to just sitting, and not really being active. So kind of choosing whether it's also going to work out with a friend or maybe it's a really good playlist, or it's actually choosing something that you like. Because I know, again, it's always really hard before when we could go to the gym because I really don't like the gym. But it'd be a lot easier for me to, when I did go to the gym, to walk. I was like, okay, I like walking. We all know I like walking, so I'm just going to walk. And that's the beginning, where it's so it's totally being honest with yourself and really just choosing something that you like to begin with, at least.
In the beginning of this conversation, we have next month a special event dedicated to the recent events the Black community faced. We want to use that opportunity to come together and find solutions to make a difference. So for that event, I'm asking all of you if you would like to come forward and share your story as an ally or as an advocate for us to prepare that event. I'm also going to ask you to send to me a 10 to 15 seconds video making a statement about how you feel on race. It could be something as simple as Black Lives Matter or I stand in solidarity with the Black community. I have incorporated that question in the survey you'll be receiving, so I please encourage you to be part of it, because that's something that we really want to do to raise awareness and educate ourselves. It's a very sensitive and very broad subject, and we're all in this together.